The Egyptian pyramids, especially the Giza pyramid complex, are an eternal symbol of ancient Egyptian civilization and one of the greatest architectural wonders ever created by mankind, built over 4,500 years ago. These structures were not only the resting places of the pharaohs, but also demonstrated the technical, organizational, and extraordinary creative abilities of an ancient society. Through millennia, the pyramids have withstood the ravages of time and continue to astonish not only researchers, but also history enthusiasts around the world. The pyramids are not just great architectural feats, they also contain profound cultural and religious values. They are proof of the strong belief in the afterlife and the sacred role of the pharaoh as an intermediary between mankind and the gods. With millions of massive stone blocks being transported and arranged with perfection, the pyramids also symbolize unity, intelligence, and the strength of ancient Egyptians. It is precisely the grandeur and mystery of the pyramids that have sparked the curiosity of many generations. Who were the real masterminds behind these structures? How did they overcome the limitations of their era to create an everlasting wonder? These questions not only challenge scientists but also inspire humanity, reminding us of the extraordinary potential of humans when faced with monumental challenges. The first pyramids of Egypt were built during the Old Kingdom period, around 2686 to 2181 BC. A major architectural milestone was the step pyramid of Pharaoh Djoser at Saqqara, built around 2630 BC. This is considered the precursor to the true pyramids, including the Great Pyramid of Giza, built by Pharaoh Khufu around 2550 BC. The ancient Egyptians not only saw the pyramids as tombs for the pharaohs, but also as symbols of power, honor, and a connection between the mortal world and the eternal afterlife. Therefore, the construction of the pyramids was not only a technical task, but also carried deep religious significance, requiring a massive mobilization of resources and labor across the country for centuries. Mystical explanations, ranging from aliens to lost civilizations like Atlantis, have been proposed to explain the ancient Egyptians' remarkable ability to build these wonders. However, modern archaeological evidence and deep historical research have helped us better understand the process of pyramid construction, the role of Egyptian workers, and their significance in the social and religious context of the time. An enduring theory, widely spread through religious propaganda and popularized in mainstream culture, is that the Jews were enslaved to build the Egyptian pyramids. This idea primarily stems from stories in the Bible, particularly the book of Exodus, which describes the hardships of the Jews in Egypt and their liberation under Moses. However, modern archaeologists and historians have provided compelling evidence to debunk this theory. Firstly, there is no archaeological evidence to show that Jews lived in or were enslaved in Egypt during the time the pyramids were built, around 4,500 years ago. The most famous pyramids, including the Great Pyramid of Giza, were completed during the 4th dynasty of Egypt from 2613 to 2494 BC. In contrast, the biblical story about the Jews in Egypt relates to the city of Pi-Ramesses, built during the 19th dynasty, around 1,000 years after the pyramids were completed. This city was named after Pharaoh Ramses II from 1279 to 1213 BC and has no connection to the pyramids. Moreover, historical records and archaeological findings regarding pyramid construction indicate that the work was carried out by Egyptian laborers, not slaves. Documents, such as those found at Giza, describe organized labor groups that were paid and provided with medical care. Discoveries of workers' settlements near the pyramids show they were provided with ample food and relatively good living conditions, not forced labor as slaves. Therefore, the idea that Jews built the pyramids is a historical misunderstanding, resulting from a misalignment of time periods and cultural contexts. This theory, although compelling in the imagination of many, does not align with current archaeological and historical evidence. Instead, the pyramids are the result of collective efforts by the ancient Egyptians, reflecting their advanced technical and organizational skills at the time. In 2013, a significant discovery at Wadi al-Jarf on the Red Sea coast further illuminated the pyramid building process. Papyrus documents found here, including the journal of an inspector named Merer, describe in detail how workers transported limestone from Tura to Giza via the Nile River. These stones were later used to build the outer casing of the Great Pyramid of Giza. The pyramid construction required the cooperation of thousands of workers. According to archaeologists, most of the workers were farmers who participated in construction during the off-season when there was no agricultural work. However, discoveries at Giza of a workers' town indicate the existence of a professional labor force. Archaeologists found evidence of large-scale production, such as thousands of loaves of bread, beer, and cattle meat provided daily. Modern scientists believe that the workers who built the pyramids were certainly not slaves, but were a well-organized workforce. They may have been seasonal laborers working during the off-peak periods between harvests. Tombs found near the pyramids show that these workers were treated well, with a rich diet including meat, beer, and bread. Their bones also show signs of medical care, including healed fractures. The pyramid building process required a complex organizational system. Estimates suggest that the Great Pyramid of Giza needed around 20,000 to 30,000 workers over 2 decades to complete. This project required not only a large labor force, but also management skills, from extracting and transporting materials to providing food and housing for the workers. One of the most astonishing aspects of the pyramids is their construction technique. The ancient Egyptians used simple tools like stone axes and levers, but they possessed advanced knowledge of mathematics and geometry. This is evident in the precise stacking of the stone blocks and the accurate orientation of the pyramids according to cardinal points. Additionally, the pyramids were constructed using a combination of human labor and advanced engineering tools of the time. Large stones were transported by boats, hauled by wooden rollers, and raised to various heights using ramps. The methods of transporting massive stones weighing tons remain a subject of debate. Some theories suggest workers used ramps, pulley systems, and sand slides made wet to reduce friction. Archaeological evidence, including remnants of ramps near the pyramids, supports this theory. Building the pyramids was not just a technical task, but also an act of religious and political significance. Pharaohs were viewed as earthly embodiments of the divine, using the pyramids to consolidate their power and ensure their immortality in the afterlife. The pyramids were not only burial sites, but also centers for religious rituals, where priests prayed and made offerings to protect the souls of the pharaohs. The construction of the pyramids also played a key role in controlling and mobilizing the population. It created employment for thousands of people and reinforced loyalty to the state. These monumental projects, with their vast scale and symbolic meaning, are the clearest evidence of the wealth and power of the pharaohs. Through archaeological evidence and historical research, it can be confirmed that the ancient Egyptians, with their intellect, skills, and dedication, built the pyramids. Mystical theories like the Jews as slaves, the Atlantis city, or aliens have no scientific foundation. Another important figure in the construction process was Ankop, the half-brother of Pharaoh Khufu, who was entrusted with overseeing the entire project. This was a high-ranking managerial role, responsible for designing, organizing, and coordinating both labor and materials. These technical and organizational achievements helped create the Great Pyramid of Khufu, one of the most famous wonders of the world. Pharaohs were not only patrons, but also the inspiration for this monumental project. The pyramid was not only a tomb, but also a symbol of power, affirming their place in history and religion. These structures also reflected the ability to mobilize vast national resources to achieve a unified goal. The Egyptian pyramids are not just tombs for the pharaohs, but eternal symbols of a pioneering civilization in human history. These monumental constructions are testament to the intellect, will, and extraordinary creativity of ancient peoples. Each stone block placed in position not only has material significance, but also embodies unity, respect for kings, and belief in the afterlife. We cannot help but marvel at how the ancient Egyptians applied techniques, organized labor, and harnessed natural resources to overcome seemingly impossible challenges. From transporting massive stones across the Nile River to perfectly aligning them to create sturdy structures, the pyramids remain intact after thousands of years. All of this demonstrates the remarkable cognitive and organizational capabilities of humans. Moreover, the pyramids serve as a vivid historical lesson, reminding us that with creativity, unity, and determination, humankind can achieve accomplishments that defy imagination, challenging both time and space. These wonders are not just the legacy of ancient Egyptians, but a shared heritage of humanity, forever sparking curiosity and endless inspiration for future generations.